hurt people hurt people. But why and how do we stop this cycle? So I'm going to get a little scientific here, but this makes a lot of sense. So if you know the first law of thermodynamics, it's that energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only change forms or be transferred or transformed. And so when someone who is hurt hurts you, usually they don't really realize that what they're doing is transferring that energy. As humans, we weren't designed to have all of this negativity, hurt, pain, trauma. In other words, the result of sin. We weren't designed to have all this. So our body's literally trying to get rid of it. And that's why it oozes off onto other people if we're not dealing with it. So scientifically speaking, this energy, this sin, this hurt, this pain, this trauma, it can't be technically destroyed, but it can be transformed. And this is where the ultimate physician comes in, Jesus. The book of Romans in chapter 12, verse 2 tells us, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove that which is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God." It's a biblical command to renew our minds, but it's a process. Being conformed to the world tells you, take revenge, hurt back the person who hurt you. But Jesus says to love your enemies. He says to do the opposite. We all have, including myself, something that has hurt us, pain that we're carrying, some type of hurt, some type of resentment as a result of someone else's sin that's been transferred onto us. And so to stop this cycle, we have to transform our minds and renew it by replacing that painful thought, that painful energy with love. So let's say you're in an argument where that person is screaming at you or yelling at you, or maybe it's passive aggressive energy and they're pushing that out onto you. And as you start to receive it, you want to take it on and then fuel it back, and it becomes like a ping pong battle. But the antidote is to stop it with the love of Christ, with patience, with kindness, with goodness, with maybe even just walking away. But inevitably, if you're receiving that energy, it has to be transformed into love in order to stop that cycle. And is this easy? Heck no, because if it was, then we would all be doing it. But it's through the power of Christ's love and abiding in his love that we're able to then actually operate and respond in love, or in other words, transfer that negative energy into this positive energy, into the love that Christ has given to us. 1 John 4:19 says, we love because he loved us first. So we can't actually operate or transform this negative energy into love if we're not resting and remembering and abiding and being attached to the love that Christ has poured out to us. So the bottom line is hurt people because that energy is being transferred. And the only way to stop that cycle is to transform that energy into love. But the only way to love is to remain attached to the source of love, who's God, who's Jesus Christ. So the takeaway from this is remain in him, remain in Christ. Read John 15 and just truly know how much Christ loves you. And with that, you have the power to extend that love onto others.